right, we're here. Welcome back. I didn't realize I already played a game. That was all of a sudden Chapo and Steph got started. I wasn't ready. Hang on, I'll get my tea. 1 second. I wasn't ready. All right. 15-all. Chapo, that's it. Steph won the first game. 15-all. Steph, it's a backhand into the front of Chapo. Steph. Into the backhand of Chapo. Goes cross court for a winner. Beautiful shot, I think. No, he missed it. 15-30. Also, chat, special announcement. We're going to make a special announcement. Another special announcement. No, we're not watching. I cannot stream this. I can't. We can't. That's not the same. It's a different announcement. 15-30. 15-30. As with a forehand now from Shapovalov into the forehand of Steph. Shapovalov backhand into the forehand of Tsitsipas. Tsitsipas in the net. 30-all. Also, we've got a couple matches still going on. Yastremska and Shang are coming out on court, and also Osorio Stevens are playing as we speak. Who's pregnant? I don't know. You tell me. Announce it right now. Why don't you just be patient and relax? All right. Lob goes up by Steph. And Chapo puts away the smash. 40-30. All right. 40-30. As we get a return from Steph, Chapo comes to the net, and Steph hits a passing shot winner. And we get the deuce. First game. No, Mia's not pregnant. No. It's about the channel, chat. It's not about my dog. No, Mia is not. Mia, that's impossible. Chat, you're crazy. All right, forehand now goes into the backhand slice of Tsitsipas. Shapovalov forehand into the slice of Tsitsipas. In comes Chapo with a volley. Puts away the winner, and it's advantage Chapo. Advantage Shapovalov. As Chapo with a great serve. It's 1-all. Whoop. 1-1. So the noises, why is that didn't work? Hang on. All right, 1 game all. All right, back to Steph. He serves a 4-second serve. All right, 15 love. There's Apostolos in the house. Steph makes an error, and it's 15-all. Did it work? It works. Yay, I fixed it. Fixed it. 15-0. Serving to the backhand of Shapo. Forehand from Steph. Shapo backhand. And Steph. Forehand again to the backhand of Shapo. But Shapo off the tape. Steph comes to the net. Shapo pass. Steph volley in the net. 15-30. Yeah, these guys have played a fair bit, by the way. They're the same generation. They're both that same generation. 4-2 in favor of Shapovalov. Yeah, they haven't played for a couple of years. Miami 24 was the last time they played, and Shapovalov got the win. Steph has won the 2 clay court meetings, but Shapo's won all 4 hard court meetings. So that's interesting. As we get a return now from Shapo, 15-30. Backhand now Steph. Shapo with a forehand down the line. Steph with a pass. Shapo with a volley. Great drop volley by Shapo. And it's 15-40 to take the break to start this match. 15-40. Seems odd they meet in the first round. Well, that's because usually Tsitsipas is in the top 30. So he's not seeded. Great shot from Shapo. Oh, he gets lucky though. He says sorry because he didn't mean to hit it that good of an angle. He shanked it and he breaks. He knows that was way too good of an angle. He's like, yeah, I didn't mean to hit that good. Great shot though. 2-1. Shapo breaks first games. All right. 2-1. All right. Soon he's out of the top 50. Who's that? Shapo? Tsitsipas? What points does he have left over the clay season, right? I feel like Pirokar will beat Djokovic in the second round. You reckon? Okay. I don't see Pirokar beating Djokovic. Okay. So I guess everybody's got nobody. Nobody agrees. All right. Well, everybody disagrees that Djokovic is going to lose. All right. 2-1. Shelton winning it all. That'd be awesome. I think Shelton's got a better chance in Miami personally, but I mean, if he did well here, that'd be just grand. I would love that. Why is Nightbot telling us Wimbledon curfew? I have no idea. Because Greg's put the curfew in. Greg loves talking about the curfew. There's no curfew here. There's never been a curfew. There is a sort of a curfew, but not really. It's not like Wimbledon, though, where it's a hard stop. It's like, if you're not on court by this time, we're not going to play. But don't worry about that. We don't have to. I don't think that rule ever comes into effect. Has that rule ever actually come into effect? I feel like that rule is a suggestion. Steph hits it out in the return. 15-love. By the way, GMP has to win his first round first, right? Why are we giving Djokovic GMP? Has he already played? No, GMP's got to take out my Shaq first. Why are we talking about GMP Djokovic? My Shaq is no joke. He can beat GMP. Why are we setting them up already? Look, Chad, if I was a magician, I'd call that a curse and a jinx if I was into magic. But magic is, that's just a movie. 30-love. Shapo serves again. And the return goes in from Shapo to the slice of Steph. Shapo forehand winner. 40-love. Cam curse is all we know. Well, you don't know much. You need to... You came at me first. 40 love. You gotta educate yourself then. 40 love. Shapo serves an ace. All right, Shapo, 3-1. Good start from Shapovalov. And he's won all 4 matches on the hard courts against Steph. And I'll go through each one individually because that's fun, right? We love that, right? We'll love that, right? So straight sets win in Miami in 2024. 2020 was the ATP Cup where it was a straight sets with 2 tie breaks for Shapo. Miami 2019 was a 3-setter final set tie break where Shapo got the win. And then back in the Australian Open 2018, the first round, Shapo won in straight sets. So 4-0 on hard courts, 4-2 in the head-to-head. And Tsitsipas has touched his knee. What's up? Love 15. When Shapo is locked in like this, he kind of reminds me of Nalbandian. I mean, yeah, he is a scary man when he's locked in. All right, return goes into the forehand of Tsitsipas. Steph hits a winner, though. Nice. 15-0. Great shot from Steph. 15-0. Serving to the back end of Shapo. 4-0 from Steph. Is long, and it's 15-30. Shapo wants that double break. 15-30. All right, 15-30. So the backhand from Shapo into the forehand of Steph. Shapo forehand to the backhand slice of the backhand of Steph again, and then Shapo hits it long, and it's 30-0. Unusual to see Steph this low in the rankings. Yeah, it's probably going to be his lowest rankings since, I want to say 2018 maybe? Because like end of 2018, he was top 20. I want to say like probably like mid 2018 was the last time he was this. His ranking was this low. All right, nice hitting from Steph, 40-30. Ooh, I forgot, Chad. I have interesting chat. We're gonna get a little nerdy. We're gonna get nerdy on this. I got some stats for you, chat. As we double fault Steph Deuce. So when these guys play, right? So they played 6 times. Every time they've played, the shot quality for these guys when they've played each other. On the serve, it's dead even. They've both served at an 8.0 on the serve when they've played each other. Their average, or the average of Shapo on serve is a 7.8. So, and it's a 7.9 for Steph. So they serve about their average, shot quality on the serves. On the returns, that's where there's a big difference. Shapovalov on returns against Steph is above his average with a 6.8. This is when he plays Steph specifically in the times he's played Tsitsipas. Whereas he's usually at a 6.2. And Steph's returns against Shapo, maybe it's because of the left-handedness, is a 4.9, which his average is about a 5.9. So he's below tour average, but when he plays Shapo, he's a 4.9 return. So you got to say that it's got to be because of the left-handed serve of Shapo. Steph on the board, though, 3-2, Shapo with a break. On the forehand, Shapo with a 6.9, which is lower than his average. His average is a 7.6 on the forehand, but Steph also below average when he plays Shapo at a 6.2 compared to an 8.0, which is his average against everybody else. The backhand, though, and it's funny because you go more and more, the more I read these stats, the more I think Shapo being left-handed and aggressive is a big problem for Steph because on the backhand side, Shapovalov's backhand is so good against Tsitsipas. It's 8.6 shot quality, which is higher than his average. His average is only 7.2, 8.6 when he plays Steph. And Steph's is down to a 4.2. So the return of serve and the backhand for Steph struggles against Shapovalov when they played each other 6 times before. And Shapovalov's return is a little bit higher, but his backhand, like he loves hitting backhands against Tsitsipas. So very interesting here. So again, you got to bring that down to the fact that it's that Shapo being a lefty and the way that he plays against, specifically against a one-handed backhand as well, it troubles Steph immensely. And that's why he's won 4 out of their 6 matches. That would be one of the big reasons why. So there you go. By the way, these guys in the rankings are very, very close. 43 and 39 in the rankings. So they're both needing wins. They're both trying to get back in that top 30, trying to get back seeded at the slams, right? They're both unseeded players at slams at this stage. So yeah, big matchup between these two. Now, when they played last time, this was Miami back in 2024, because I've still got stats. Performance rating for Shapovalov was a 7.98. And performance rating, by the way, is all these Tennis Insight stats rolled up into one and spit out with one big number. So it's all the big, shot quality, in attack, conversion, steal, all of those metrics that that TDI and Tennis Insights, put together. And they put it together with, using technology. They don't just put it together by, picking numbers out of a hat. 5.84 for Steph last time they played. That's shocking for Steph. A performance rating of under 6 usually is not good. If you're 8 and above, you've had a good day. Sometimes it might not be good enough. Sometimes you could have an 8.5, but then the guy that you're playing has an 8.7, right? But if you're below 6, that's a poor day. You had a bad day that day, or you didn't play well. And when they played last time, Shapovalov was on fire. That backhand was on fire. Tsitsipas's backhand was not working. The returns were not working. The forehand was okay, but not good enough to make up for the others. So, again, very important for Tsitsipas to get some returns and to get that backhand working just like that. Even though that backhand was not good enough because Shapo could volley. All right, 30 love. Shapovalov again with a great serve. And the thing is, right, so with that information, Shapovalov, he can go out there and go, well, you know what, I'm going to create a strategy where my weapons go up against your backhand and specifically your defensive, probably out wide backhand. I wonder if I can see whether or not where the serving of Shapo is against Steph specifically. That would be really interesting. If I could find out where does Shapo serve against Tsitsipas in their previous meeting, because I'm sure that he serves out wide to the backhand a lot against this guy. Let me have a look. So yeah, when Shapo serves against Steph, in the last time they played, he served 69% out wide to the backhand on the ad side. He only served 31% down the middle, and he didn't serve any body serves. This was the last time they played. He served an ace out wide, and then, get this, down the tee on the deuce side, because remember he's a lefty, to the backhand of Steph, he's serving at 67% of serves direction that way. So, again, majority of his serves are going straight to that backhand. He's like, I'm going for your backhand. He's not even trying to hide it, because he knows that if he hits a good serve with that lefty serve that kind of cuts away, Steph's not going to get it, or Steph's not going to reply. And if he does, it's going to be a short slice, and Shapo's all over it. So very interesting to see that. So expect Tsitsipas to have to hit a lot of returns on the backhand. As Shapo goes in the backhand of Steph, again the forehand of Shapo. Tsitsipas can't get that one. Shapo with the inside out win. I love 30. Good insights. Great insights. I'm biased, but also what great insights. No round numbers? No. No round numbers. No rookie scores. I've got a really good stat for you as well, which is interesting. Shot quality on the serve, specifically first serves out wide when he played last time he played Shapo against Steph. He was serving some crazy high levels of serving out to that backhand as that goes in net by Shapo, 15-30. So the backhand goes out. So the classic lefty serve, right? That lefty serve out wide to the backhand of the right-hander. That classic lefty serve, right? All lefties love that serve. That's why, lefties are so successful most of the time, right? Why they do well. They have that weapon out wide. 9.0 on the first serve, shot quality-wise on that serve out wide to the. I mean, Shapo, that's it. I mean, that's his go-to serve anyway. Like, he would do that anyway, but against Steph specifically is a great shot. As Tsitsipas comes in there and completely misjudged it, 15-40. Steph is in big trouble. Anyway, Shad, I'll stop bamboozling you with numbers, and we'll talk about more numbers later. All right. Yeah, Steph just didn't read the play, didn't set his feet, nearly fell over as Shapo went straight down the middle. 15-40. As with a fault from Steph, second serve. Second serve in the back of Shapovalov. Return goes to the front of Steph. Steph in the net. There's a double break. 5-2. Shapovalov. 5-2. Double break is going to serve the set. Serve for the set. And by the way, chat, you might have just somebody's mentioned what's that QR code. So that's another little announcement, chat, we're doing. So for the rest of the year, you thought yesterday was a big deal, right? We got to show that tiebreaks 10s, and we got to and hopefully we get to do that again in the future. For the rest of this year, if you want to watch the tennis, then scan the QR code, and it should send you to get to go to Tennis TV. And if you do that, it actually does, it helps the channel a little bit and all those things. But yeah, we've been lucky enough that it is going to be a feature during the men's matches. Now, obviously, you can't watch Grand Slams with Tennis TV, and you can't watch the WTA. But for all your ATP needs, scan this code. It'll send you in the right direction, and that will be something that we'll be doing throughout the entire season. So, yeah, it's kind of a big deal to have this, and hopefully, as the season goes on, there'll be more announcements and there'll be more exciting things as well that I cannot reveal as now. But that's the first thing. So if you want to watch it, if you want to watch the tennis, like I say, it's always on Tennis TV. Watch Tennis TV. Tennis TV is it. Scan this QR code and it'll send you there, and you can download the app. You can get Tennis TV. You can do all that stuff. And hopefully by the end of, or during next week, I will be able to talk a little bit more about something more. No, Tennis TV is not free. It is not free. It is but it is the best source to watch tennis. So, especially worldwide, because not everybody can watch tennis. Like, as far as I know, I'm pretty sure it covers most countries' Tennis TV. And that's how I watch it. That's how I watch the tennis. I don't have other channels to watch it, so it's been my go-to for years. And now we're lucky enough that now we have our own QR code and our own way to direct to that, to the platform. So go check it out. It only shows ATP, yeah. And doesn't do the slams because the slams do all their own thing. But watch, but for Tennis TV, and by the way, Tennis TV is for the ATP. I mean, you're watching the ATP is, makes up most of the tennis season anyway. The Grand Slams make up 8 weeks of the year, and other tournaments like Davis Cup and stuff are a couple of weeks a year. You're watching ATP. If you're watching men's tennis, you're watching the ATP Tour pretty much 80% of the year anyway, right? Like all the 1000s, you can watch all the 500s, you can watch all the 250s, right? You can watch. I don't know if you can watch every match of the 250s, but you can watch every match of the other thing. Again, you have to double check, but I think of the 1000s, it's got everything covered. It's also got a really cool feature, like a 24/7 channel on there, which is really fun to watch. So go check that out. Go check the app. If you scan the code, it should send you to the app. What does it cost? it costs different amounts in different places, because in Australia it costs one thing, so it depends where you are. So again, if you scan the code, it'll send you there and it'll give you all the information you need to know. All right, 30-all. Shapo 7 for this set. You can pay, I think you can pay annually. And or monthly. Obviously, if you pay annually, you get a discount. But all right, 30-all. There's a bit of fault from Shapo, second serve. Shapo double faults. All right, first little mistakes here for Shapo, and he's under a little pressure. And it's 30-40. 30-40. Serve again from Shapo. Into the forehand of Steph. Return goes to the forehand of Shapovalov. Steph with the backhand. Goes long. Shapo survives. Deuce. We get to deuce. There's a bit of backhand return from Steph. Short in the front of Shapo. Steph with a pass. Shapo with a volley. That's a winner. I thought we have to pay for the subscription and that's it. It is a subscription. But yeah, but next week, I'm hoping next week I can talk a little bit more about some other things as well. So, as of now, it's something that we featured during the men's matches at the tournaments like this. Steph, it's a backhand cross court winner, just into the corner, and it's back to deuce. Whenever a player is redlining, I get concerned about how it can last. Well, yeah, I mean, if you're playing like Grigspor against Rublev in Dubai, you know, it's we saw how it can go so well, and why redlining can work really well. But then there's times when somebody redlines and it just completely messes up. All right, as the return goes into the forehand of Shapo. And Shapo hits a cross-court winner. Shapo set point. 31 minutes. Snappy match. All right. 15 winners already for Shapo. Ooh, I'm going to give you some chat. This is going to be the stat stream. I'm giving you stats, chat. Shapo gets the first set, 6-2. Chat, if you like stats, you're in the right place because I'm going to give you some stats. You ready for some stats? First set, Shapovalov, no rookie scores, 8.81 in the performance rating for Shapovalov and a 6.7 for Steph in that performance rating. So, yeah, below average for Steph. Steph's usually at a 7.51, and Shapovalov's around a 7.48, so he's playing way better today than he usually does, and Steph is playing a little bit worse than he usually does against other guys. They round the numbers up on the TV, but I'm giving you the extended stats. 2 break points converted by Shapovalov. Steph only had the 1, and that was in the last game, and he couldn't convert. Winners and errors. So 5 winners from Tsitsipas, 3 on the forehand side. But he also hit 5 unforced errors on the forehand side. 5 errors, 5 winners, 8 errors by Steph. 14 winners Shapovalov, including 5 volleys and 7 on the forehand side. 4 errors, and the 2 errors of the 4 were backhand. So, I mean, Shapovalov is on fire. 14 winners, 4 errors. That's confidence. That is so confident from Shapo. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Shot quality on the ground strokes, 9.6 on the forehand side for Shapo. Shapo's forehand is crazy. An 8.0 on the serve. Tsitsipas' backhand's actually not doing too bad. 7.3, which I talked about earlier against Shapovalov last time they played. It was horrible. But Shapovalov's forehand is just ridiculous. A 9.6 Shot quality in the first set is insane. His average is a 7.6. So his forehand is going off right now. Crazy. He is going off with that forehand. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Madness. All right. First set in the bag. Let's see if Steph can recover. I guess what Steph's got to do well in this next set. I mean, his shot quality on all the shots was around a 7. It's not bad. Like that wasn't. He's not playing bad. He's playing below average on serve and maybe above average on returns. But he's not playing bad. It's just Shapovalov is playing crazy right now. He's just got to, I guess, limit some of those errors on his forehand and hope that Shapo cools down a bit because Shapo is on fire. We need fire emoji somewhere. Put the fire emoji in the chat. Shapo is on fire. Well, he's not literally on fire. That'd be crazy. Anyways, forehand goes into the net by Steph. So Steph's just got to lock in here and not and let Shapovalov do his thing. He's going to hit winners, but eventually he's going to miss. He's got to stick around long enough. But yeah, Shapo's forehand, that has been the weapon. Along with the serve, setting up the forehand with the serve, but his forehand has been crispy clean. Double fault Steph, that doesn't help. Love 30. Do you think Steph will be able to win a tournament again? Yeah, he will. He'll win a tournament. Typical random God mode Shapovalov just can't be consistent. Yeah, we need Shapovalov to play like this against Sinkeraz. And he might. I mean, he played like this against Sinner a little bit at the US Open last year. He was playing pretty crazy back then. All right, love 30. As the return goes to the backhand of Steph. Forehand out from Shapo. Into the backhand of Steph. Steph goes wide. Love 40. Now, this is the opposite of what Steph needs to do. He's making too many errors. Too many errors. All right, serve again. Into the backhand of Shapo. Slice goes into the forehand of Steph. Shapovalov backhand. Again to the forehand of Steph, but Shapo hit it long, and it's 15-40. 15-40. All right. First serve's a fault, second serve. Tsitsipas needs to get more first serves in too. He's down at 44% at the moment. He's got to get more first serves in. Forehand to forehand rally. Now a backhand from Shapo into the forehand of Steph. Shapo backhand. Again to the forehand of Steph. He goes to the forehand of Shapo. Comes in the net with a volley, but Shapo's going to get there and put it away. Yeah, that was not a good enough volley. He just sat it right up for Shapo to just nail it. All right, Shapo breaks. One love in the second. But yeah, Steph's second serve is getting annihilated. Shapo, by the way, is serving out of a tree. He has missed 4 first serves. And he's lost 4 points on his 85% first serves in, 82% of first serves points won. So, I mean, that is ridiculous. He's only hit 4 second serves in the match. Crazy. Whereas Tsitsipas hit 16 second serves. That's crazy. That is crazy from Shapo. Yeah, Shapo's forehand and first serve are ridiculous. I mean, poor Tsitsipas. I mean, he's not, again, it's not much he could do. That's just crazy by Shapo. Shapo just playing insane. All right, Steph just taking his time. He's just trying to cool Shapo down. He's like, hey, just wait up, buddy. I'm not ready. All right, first serve is a fault, second serve. Yeah, Shapo's cross-court forehand specifically is on fire. All right, forehand goes into the net by Shapo. Okay. This is what Steph needs to wait for. When you're playing someone who's playing this hot, right? It's not about like trying to lift your level at times because, again, like I said, Steph's not playing terrible. He's not playing great, but he's not playing bad. Shapo's just blowing him off the court. But if you hang around long enough, Shapo will cool down. He won't stay like this for another hour. There'll be a moment where Shapo does cool down, but Tsitsipas has got to stick around long enough, and maybe it's now because Shapo's missed 2 forehands in the net in a row. Love 30, and I just said, the second I said his forehand cross-court's done the damage, he's missed 2 forehands cross-court. And they were short forehands he shouldn't have missed. Love 30. He's starting to cool down now. Tsitsipas got to make this count. All right, first serve's a fault, second serve. Serve goes in the forehand of Steph. Return goes in the forehand of Shapo. Steph runs around his backhand, hits the forehand again to the backhand of Shapo. Into the forehand of Steph. Shapo runs around his backhand, goes forehand long. 3 forehand errors in a row. And Steph's got a chance to get the break back. Love 40. Three forehand errors from Shapovalov, which he has not been doing at all. First serve's a fault. Second serve, his shot quality is dropping too. Shapo on that forehand. It's gone from a almost perfect score to a 9.2. As a return, goes into the backhand of Shapo. Shapo shanks it, and there is the breakback. Steph getting some gifts from Shapovalov. All right. Shapovalov gives back the break. All right. All right. Steph needs first serves though. That is his. If he can do anything to help, it helps that Shapo's cooling down. But Steph needs first serves. Give himself a bit of help. Good serve out wide, the backhand of Shapo. Steph backhand in the net. It wasn't a bad serve. It just was too good from Shapo on the return. All right, 15. I love 15. As a return goes out by Shapo. Good serve there. And it's 15-0. All right, first serve's a fault. Second serve is with a forehand now to the slice of Shapo. Forehand from Steph. That's not bad. Shapo gets it. Steph. Oh, he sprays the inside out forehand wide. And it's 15-30. Steph's got a hold here. This is super important. He's got a hold here. All right, 15-30. As a return from Shapo's a winner down the line. He raised his fist. That's just too good. I don't know why Tsitsipas thought that was a good idea to go to the forehand. Is he not paying attention? His forehand is crazy. It looked like it was a little bit of a frame, but either way, Shapo meant to hit it that way, even if it did get a little bit of help. Break points, 15-40. As Steph serves a fault down the tee. Again, he's going to, I tell you what, Steph is playing with fire. And he wants that smoke. And I tell you, the result, the score showing that, no, you don't. As a return goes the forehand of Steph. Forehand from Shapo. Shapo in the net. On the forehand, 30-40. Like, Steph is just like, you know what? I'm not scared of your forehand. You should be. You should be very scared of his forehand. Stop messing with the forehand. Just smack the shit out of it out wide. Do not go to the forehand, Steph. 30-40. Serve down the tee. Oh, he serves a fault. He went down the tee, but he faulted. Second serve. Oh, God. Don't kick it out wide. Chapo's going to hit a winner. Don't kick it out wide. No, he kicks it down the middle. Shapo runs around into forehand anyway. And then Tsitsipas with a forehand winner. Beautiful shot. That was a great play by Steph. He went kind of like down the tee with the serve. Shapo ran around the backhand because he knows his forehand is godlike. But he left the court open. His momentum was going this way. And I'm going to show you on the screen chat because, we can do that sometimes. I'll show you after this game. All right, Deuce. Good serve out wide from Steph. He's listening. He's listening. Advantage Tsitsipas. Serve out wide of that backhand. It worked. All right. Advantage Steph to get the lead. First serve's a fault. Second serve. As the return goes, a slice of Steph. Shapovalov slices it into the forehand of Tsitsipas, who goes in the forehand of Shapovalov on the stretch. Tsitsipas forehand down the line. Shapo gets it with a slice. Steph comes in with the drive volley winner, and Steph holds. That was a big hold. All right, 2-1. Tsitsipas. All right, chat, let's go check out the... so this is why Tsitsipas, what he did on that second serve down, break point, by the way. So he's serving out here, right? Shapo's out here. He's just served a fault, Tsitsipas, right? So then what he does is... he serves a fault down the tee, right? So he's gone... Where are we? So Tsitsipas went down the tee and he served a fault, right? He missed it. The second serve, if he kicks it out wide... Remember, this is Shapo's forehand here. He's a lefty. If he kicks it out wide, Shapo's nailing that down the line or cross-court. He's doing whatever the hell he wants because that's what he's doing today. His forehand's godlike. But instead, what he did was he sort of kicked it down the middle. It wasn't great. Like, it wasn't as central as he wanted. But what Shapo tried to do, right? Shapo ran around to go to old forehand, right? But the problem with that was, and this is where Tsitsipas played a really good return. So the return goes in, and what Shapo, because Shapo's body weight was going this way, right? So his weight was going to the side, it left this whole court open. And that's where Tsitsipas was good enough to get this shot and then smack it inside out. This was on break point, by the way. So this was a big moment in this in that game. And because Shapo was moving this way, his body weight was going this way, this was perfect for Steph, and he hits the winner. So that's what saved that game for Steph. It was that second serve down the tee. Shapo tried to run around, and he didn't do enough with the return. And that's where Tsitsipas was able to get that point and then eventually get the game. But that was a huge moment in that game. All right, 2-1. Steph leads, I think, for the first time today. All right. Two-one Tsitsipas. That was clutch, yeah. All right, 2-1 Steph. As with a fault from Shapo. Second serve. Serving to the forehand of Steph. He tries to run around the backhand. He gets it back into the back of Shapo. Forehand up from Steph. Shapo pass. Steph with a volley. Shapo's going to get there and put it away. Just too good. Steph couldn't do enough with that volley. It's a tough volley, though. 15 love. And a bit of fault second serve. And serve goes back into Steph. Steph in the net. Oh, man. That was a slow serve out wide, and Tsitsipas just did nothing with it. I'll tell you, Shapo is dominating at the net as well. He's playing some really good points at the net too. He's 9 out of 12 at the net, Shapovalov. There's been another fault from Shapo. Second serve. As the return goes in the back of Shapo. That's a good shot. And then Steph slicing the net. 40 love. 40 love. Yeah, Shapovalov's forehand, though, is cooling down in this second set. Also, Shapo is missing a lot of first serves. He's only hit one first serve in this set so far. That's crazy. He was 85% in the first set. He's 25% in the second for first serves in. That serve goes in, and it works. All right, 2-2. Yeah, he's only... Shapovalov, for the match, by the way, he's still at 71% of first serves in and nearly 80% of first serve points won. But yeah, second set. That was only his second first serve in for the set, Chapo. So his first serve is not working as well. All right. And the forehand also is slowing down a bit, but I wouldn't. So if you're Tsitsipas, don't test that out. Don't be going, he missed 2 in a row. Yeah, he'll get the third one. Don't worry. Don't hit it there. Avoid the forehand at all cost. That was a good little cramping serve there from Steph. 15 love. Tsitsipas needs to squeeze errors from Shapo backhand to have a chance. Yeah, he's just got to, either go body, which he kind of did a little bit there on that serve, or or just go backhand. Like, do not go to that forehand. If Shapo wants to make errors on the forehand, let him, but don't give him chances to hit forehands. If you hit it to his forehand, he's going to want to. He'll go. He's going to hit winners eventually. As he hits the forehand inside out there, Shapo. Tsitsipas gets it. Shapo forehand. There's a passing shot from Steph. Oh, too good. Lovely shot from Tsitsipas on the backhand. 30 love. That was better. 30 love. Tsitsipas serves again. And then comes in with a forehand winner. 40 love. Steph serves another fault. Second serve. Second serve goes to the back, and Shapo four now from Steph. Goes long, 40-15. 40-15. By the way, Shapo's forehand shot quality as of right now in the second set alone, 5.4. So going from like a 9.6 to a 5.4. Like, it's falling out the sky right now, chat. He's dropping. Steph needs first serve, so 40-15. Again, don't tempt by hitting it to the forehand, but but just know that is a thing. Anyway, Shapo in the net again with a forehand. All right. Tsitsipas leads 3-2. Yeah, Shapo's forehand is dropping. And Steph leads 3-2, second set. Very snappy match. Yeah, these guys are playing quick. It's great. Didn't even think about the one-hander versus one-hander was going on. Yeah. But the thing is, even though it's a 1v1, right? One-hander versus one-hander, the fact that Shapo's a lefty is such a big difference maker, right? Because even though, look, theoretically, right? You would think that Tsitsipas could do what Shapo does to him, right? Go, oh, well, why don't you just serve it out wide, to his backhand? But the difference is that Shapo's got a better slice backhand than Steph, right? So if Tsitsipas is like, yeah, I'll serve it out to your backhand, and I'm going to serve it out wide to you, Shapo's not bothered by that, because remember, when you're playing, left-handers play against right-handers 90% of the time. But right-handers don't play lefties 90% of the time. They play, maybe 10% of the time, right? If we're doing the math. Rough numbers, right? Most of the time, Tsitsipas is playing a right-hander. So it's not as easy for him to have to adjust to that, to go, okay, well, I'm going to serve out wide all the time now, because in his mind, back of his head, he's thinking, well, I'm serving it to your forehand, but obviously he's not. He's serving to the backhand against a lefty. But Shapo's used to playing right-handers, so you can go out to his backhand all you want. He's got a good backhand. He's solid backhand. He's got a good slice. So it's not as easy as just like, oh, well, Steph can do what Shapo does because, Shapo's been, No. It depends on how good the backhand is, the one-handed backhand. Now, if it was Dimitrov Shapo, maybe a different story. But against Tsitsipas, Shapo putting that lefty serve out wide and forcing Steph to try and, either slice or hit a winner off it. Steph doesn't do that. He doesn't do that well, right? Am I making sense? Does that make sense? I wonder what Tsitsipas Shapo's record against Dimitrov is. out of curiosity, because Dimitrov's definitely got a better backhand. 2-all. Okay. Shapo's won the last 2, but they haven't played for 4 years. So limited data. But, 2-all, though, so obviously closer than this head-to-head. Love 15. There's a little forehand from Shapo to the forehand of Steph. Shapo with a slice. Steph comes in with a volley. Puts it away. Love 30. Love 30. Serve again. Shapo serves. That's a fault. Second serve. Serve to the back end of Steph. Shapovalov forehand goes wide. Chad, I told you, it's getting chilly. It's getting chilly. Love 40. That forehand ain't working the way it was working in the first set. Shapo's gone cold. 4.4 shot quality on that forehand now. It's just gone. All right. Shapo serves. Steph to get the break in the second and lead. First serve's a fault. Second serve. Second serve. Into the backhand of Steph. He goes down the line to the backhand of Shapo. Shapo hits it wide. And all the confidence that Shapovalov was just having in that first set is completely gone. And now Shapo's talking to the umpire. What's up? Oh, I think is he talking about Steph's? He's saying the whole team. I reckon Shapo's having a go at Steph's team. Chat, this just got spicy. It might be chilly with the forehand, but it's spicy with the match. Muhammad Liani's like, oh no, don't yell at me. he's freaking out. Shapo, I think, saying that they're yapping. Team Tsitsipas is yapping. He's like, every match, every time. I think Shapo's just pissed off that he's not playing well right now. I think he's just using that. He wasn't saying anything about the team in the first set. I think Shapo might just be a little mad. And he's like, yeah, they won't shut up. That's why I'm losing. Love 15. Look, it wouldn't be the first time that Tsitsipas's team has been accused of talking a lot. Just ask Daniel Medvedev. Every point, his father talks every point. 15-0. And look, chat, you could say that the reason why the coaching rule became a thing was because of Tsitsipas and his dad. Like, the reason why coaching became legal was partly because he was getting penalized a lot. And maybe they rethought the rules because of Steph and his dad were going back and forth, and people were like, you know what, why don't we just make this legal? He was part of the reason why, other players as well, but mainly, like, I remember back in, 2022? Where Tsitsipas and his dad, they would always get coaching violations, and you're like, what the hell's going on? And then they changed that rule to make it, you know what? You could talk to each other. We'll let you talk to an extent. And Shapo's talent saying they're yapping a little too much. 40-15. Yeah, they were I remember 2022, and maybe even a little bit of 23. When did the rule change? Was it the end of 22? I think it was 22, right? And coaching became, they changed the rule on coaching. Good return, Shapo, 40-30. Made a video about it back in the day, so I think I made a video about it, right? I can't remember. Anyways, 40-30. Tsitsipas trying to get to the 5-2 lead. Shapo shanks the backhand, but Steph gets it with a forehand to the slice of Shapo. Steph with a forehand again, goes wide, and it's deuce. So here we go. I made a video back in 2022. The ATP Tour rules Oh, they changed. So that was the toilet break rule. That was different. Yeah, I can't remember when they changed the rule. It was definitely around that time. Shapo hits it in the net and it's advantage Tsitsipas. Or maybe it was at the end of 23, was it? No, that was at Grand Slams. That was at Slams. Yeah, on-court coaching was, I think it was, on the ATP and WTA, it was made legal, like made allowed earlier than the Slams. Slams got to it later. Good volley from Steph. He leads 5-2. Yeah, I think it was like, didn't they trial it at the end of 22? And then the start of 23, I think it became a thing. And again, yeah, mainly because Tsitsipas and his dad, I mean, there was a lot of, they were chatting a lot. And they went, you know what, maybe we should let the players talk a little more to their coaches because, the rules seemed like, players were getting around it anyway. All right. Steph, he's up 5-2 in the second. Well, I remember that 2021, Steph on Twitter put several tweets about wanting coaching to be allowed. Well, there you go. Yeah, I think it was. I think they did it on a trial basis, I want to say. And then it was formalized as the trial was good. Meaning that most people didn't complain about it being a thing. Like most players liked it. So if most of the players liked it, they're going to keep it, right? All right, Steph 5-2, second set. But yes, if you're just joining us, Shapovalov's forehand has gone from hot to not, and Tsitsipas is reaping the benefits in the second set by Shapo going a little cold in the second set, specifically on the forehand side, which was godlike in the first set. He couldn't miss forehands even if he tried. But this second set, he can't make a forehand to save his serve. And here we are. Steph with the lead. As they play some MJ in the house. All right, 5-2. Shapo's going to serve to stay in the set. Been a very snappy match, though, which we do appreciate. As the backhand goes in the front of Steph, Shapovalov backhand to the backhand of Steph. Into the front of Shapo. Steph with the forehand. Oh, he shanks it wide. And it's 15-love. $15-love. As the return goes out by Tsitsipas. 30-love. $30-love. All right, as we get a forehand now from Shapo. Steph goes backhand cross court, slice from Shapo. As Steph goes again, the forehand of Shapo. Shapo in the net, though, with his slice. And it's 30-15. 30-15. As Shapo with a great serve out wide. There's that faithful serve. What we're talking about the whole first set. It worked perfectly that time. Because, yeah, Tsitsipas just doesn't have that defensive slice on the backhand side, even though he's got a one-hander. That's the shot he should have. One-handers usually have that slice. But Shapo just... the lefty serve just cuts away so much more. You've just got to reach even further, right? It's a tough one. It's almost like Steph needs to come in and cut off the angle, which is super risky. But Federer did that against Rafa and it worked all right. Like he took on that serve when he was getting attacked in the backhand. It's part of the reason why Federer ended up starting to beat Nadal towards the end. Was coming in, he'd step in and just hit the backhand, almost on the rise, not really, but like he wouldn't let Rafa, serve it out wide, and he would stay back, and he'd come in and he'd kind of push in on the return. That's how he won the Australian Open 2017 against Rafa. He said it himself. I think I saw an interview a couple of days ago with him talking about how or Ljubicic was talking about it. How him taking on this using his backhand more against Rafa. When Rafa would try and pick on the backhand, he got him to win against Rafa towards the end. Steph should maybe take there's worse players to copy than Roger. 5-4. But he has got the chance to get the set here. All right, 5-3. As the return goes to 4 to Steph. Oh, Steph hits it long though. Love 15. Love 15. Steph serves a fault. Second serve. Oh, double faults. 3 point. Love 30. Chance for Shapo to get back on serve. Love 30. All right, Steph comes to the net. Shapo with a pass. Steph with the volley. Shapo with the backhand. Steph with the volley in the net. And Shapo has got love 40 to get back on serve. Love 40. To get back on serve. Steph, it's a good serve out wide. One saved. 30, 15, 40. What is it? 15, 40. As the return goes into the corner, Steph, but no, it goes long. Just goes long. 30, 40. 30, 40. All right, still break point for Shapo to get back on serve. As the return goes to corner, Steph. Steph, it's a winner. All right, we get the deuce. Nice shot from Steph. And we get the deuce. As the return goes into the corner, Steph. Shapo slice. Steph comes to the net. Shapo pass. Steph volleys. Shapo slice. Lob goes in the net. And it's a set point from love 40 for Steph to take us to a third. Advantage Steph. Now we're to fault second serve. As the return goes in from Shapo to the backhand of Steph. Shapo forehand. Down the line. Steph gets it on the stretch. Shapo forehand again. Into the backhand of Tsitsipas. Shapo forehand again to the backhand of Steph. Shapo forehand again. Steph The backhand down the line. Shapo hits it in the net with the backhand also down the line. Steph takes the second. All right. And we're going 3. Back-to-back 3-setters. How about that for a day? All right. Please don't put scores in the chat. It's really annoying. Let's talk about some stats in that second set. So Shapo, his performance rating dropped to a 7.1. 7.3 for Tsitsipas. So he was maintaining, because remember in the first, Steph was around a 7 point. Oh, he went up a little bit. He was up. He was a 6.8, so he's gone up a little bit. But Shapo drastically dropped from. He had a lot of break points, Shapo, in that set. Steph just took the ones he had. But shot quality on that forehand went down from Shapo. That was the big difference. Tsitsipas's returns haven't been great. Shapo's returns are actually pretty good, but only had the one break to show for it. But Tsitsipas fighting back, and it was that first part of those 3 bad forehands from Shapo when he had the break at 1-love, and he gave the break back, and then all of a sudden it gave Steph some life, and now Tsitsipas is well and truly in this match. He hasn't beaten Shapovalov on a hard court before, not yet anyway. Tonight the night. All right. The person who wins the coin toss elects to serve or receive. Yes. And then the person who loses the coin toss gets to pick whether or not they want to stay down one end or the other. That's how it works. But yeah, Shapo in that second set, by the way, he had 3 winners and 10 errors. Whereas the first set, he had 14 winners. So the winners disappeared. 7 winners, 11 errors by Tsitsipas, which was about the similar ratio to the first set. But Shapo went from 14 winners, 4 errors to 3 winners, 10 errors. So he completely dropped off in that second in comparison to the first. And now, Shapo serving first in the final set. Who's winning the final set, chat? Let me know. Who you got? All right, 15-love. I'm gonna go Shapo just because he's never lost to Steph on a hard court, and it's hard to say. And I feel like this has been on Shapo's racket, right? Steph's been okay at times, but Shapo had 7 break points in the second set, and he only got 1, whereas Steph had 2 and he got 2, right? So I still feel like this is Shapo's match. I don't think Tsitsipas did anything outstanding in the second set to turn it around. It was Shapo just dipping and not converting chances like he was. Anyways, 30-love. Good body serve. Steph gets it back, though. As Shapo goes in the backhand of Steph. Again to the forehand of... backhand from Shapo again, the forehand of Steph. And then Shapo backhand in the net. All right, 30-15. Serve again. And the return goes in the net by Steph. That was that serve out wide. That lefty serve out wide that Steph couldn't get back. And Shapovalov, 40-15. Shapovalov wins the game, and it's 1-love in the final set. All right. Let's see if Steph can get first serves in, because serving second might be an issue if you're not getting first serves in. All right, first serve default, second serve. All right, 1-love as Steph hits that out on the forehand, love 15. Love 15. All right, 15-0 is Steph with a good shot. All right. 15-0. As that goes out by Shapo, 30-15. All right, 40-15. Nice serving from Steph. Steph with the forehand to the backhand of Shapo. Steph backhand to the forehand of Shapo. Again, the backhand of Steph. Shapovalov wins a point. Steph overhits it. And it's 40-30. As Steph serves out wide. Shapo gets it back short. Steph comes in with a forehand winner. All right, 1-1. 1-1. One game all. Steph returns in the backhand of Shapo. Forehand from Steph. Into the forehand of Shapo with a slice, but Steph comes in with a smash. Shapo gets there with a slice in the net. Nice aggression by Tsitsipas. Love 15. Love 15. And Tsitsipas misses that one, and it's 15-0. What are you watching this on? Tennis TV. There should be a link in the description, but they'll also scan the QR code. You can watch it. Backhand goes into the forehand of Steph. Forehand out from Shapo. Is that a winner? Great shot, Shapo. Inside out forehand winner, 30-15. It should show up in a second. But there's a link down in the description below. If you click the link, it'll send you to there. Hello. All right. Shapovalov, 30-15. Can Shapo win? I think Shapo, yes, he can win. I mean, he should win. He's won 4 times against him on hard courts. He's also been the better player in this match. So if Shapo lost this match, it would be a bad loss. Like, even right now. So I'm looking at his performance rating for the match. Shapo's at an 8.03. Tsitsipas' only for the match is at a 6.81. So Shapo is still the better player, even if the second set he completely dropped. But he's still overall the better player. He's still at a very if you're like I said, if you're on a performance rating of an 8 or higher, you're playing pretty well. If you're below a 6, you're playing pretty bad. And if you're sort of in the middle, if you're playing in the 9s, you're Alcaraz, because he plays in the 9s a lot. But if you're in the 8s, you're doing pretty well. And if your opponent's obviously below 7, you're doing better than him. 2-1 Shapo. So Shapo is the better player right now, and he's tracking upwards. He's getting better as this third set has begun. At the end of the second, they were neck and neck, right? It was like a 7. What was it? 7 point. Where was it? Where did we get to? Like, it was almost like they were almost even. Or Tsitsipas was a 7.2 and Shapo a 7.1, right? But Shapo is starting this third set a lot stronger. And this third set, his forehand's back to a 9.4. So his forehand is back. The Shapo forehand is on fire again. So I'm still back in Shapo, but rankings don't matter, buddy. Who are you calling buddy? Are you talking to me, or am I buddy? Who are you talking to? All right. 2-1. Looks like we have Canadians in the house. Yeah, well, you would think so. You would hope so. I love winning matches where I'm playing worse than the opponent and just doing well on pressure points. Well, yeah. Oh, you weren't talking to me? Okay. I just looked up at the wrong time. All right, 2-1 Shapo with the lead in the final set. Who you calling buddy, Guy? Hey, who you calling Guy, pal? All right, 2-1. Tsitsipas serves in the backhand of Shapo. Backhand from Steph. Into the forehand of Shapovalov. As Steph with the forehand into the slice of... Oh, no, he didn't get it, Shapo. Steph too good with the forehand. All right, 15 love. Chances for Nola because he has a nightmare draw? Does he? I guess he does. I mean, tough. It's always going to be tough. But if anyone's going to get through a nightmare draw, it's probably him. Or Sinner or Alcaraz, right? No, 30 love. $30 love. Good serve from Steph. Shapo hits a forehand, return out. 40 love. $40 love. As Shapovalov hits it out in the return. All right, 2-2. Good serving from Steph. Solid game. Solid game in the... to take that set. Oh, sorry, that game. 2-0. All right, 2-2. Back to Shapo. As the return goes in the back of Shapo. Steph. Again to the back of Shapovalov. And Steph with a forehand again to the back of Shapo. Steph runs around his backhand, hits a forehand again to the back of Shapo. Steph goes down the line with a forehand, but it's long. Not bad play, but just didn't execute. All right. All right, 15 love. As the return goes in from Steph. Shapo now with the backhand. Into the forehand of Tsitsipas. Shapo backhand goes on the line. Steph gets his backhand into the forehand of Shapo. Good shot from Shapo. Steph slices it back. Shapovalov backhand cross court. Steph gets it. Shapo forehand inside into the backhand slice of Tsitsipas. Shapo again to the slice of Tsitsipas. In comes Shapo with a volley, but he missed it! Way too casual by Shapo. He comes in like, oh, I've hit all the volleys today. Not that one. He missed that completely. Just ugly. It was too easy for Shapo. He could have done anything with that, and he just went out wide. Way too casual. 15-0. That was a poor miss. All right, forehand from Shapo, and Steph hits it in the net. All right, forehand comes to the rescue. 30-15. That's been the story of the day. Shapo's forehand has been ridiculous at moments. It wasn't. It was pretty. It was ridiculous in a bad way in the second set, but in the first and third, it has been on a level. All right, Shapovalov goes to the backhand of Steph, backhand of Shapo down the line. Steph with his slice, a Shapo backhand cross court. Steph with a pass in the net. It's 40-15. And again, net points won by Shapo has been another factor for this match. He's been hitting some really good. He's been hitting some really, really good, or at least setting himself up at the net really, really well. And he serves a fault second serve. He's got a backhand now from Shapo into the forehand of Steph. Shapo again with the backhand into the forehand of Steph. Down the line to the forehand of Shapovalov. Steph with the backhand slice. Shapo's backhand goes down the line again. Steph with the slice again. And Shapo forehand inside out. Steph gets it and hits in the net. And Shapo 3-2. He is ready. All right, 3-2 Shapo. In the final set, he keeps the lead. All right. How we doing, chat? Three, two. How we doing, chat? Shapovalov has huge loopy strokes to maintain consistency throughout the match. Well, yeah, and also Tsitsipas doesn't hit the ball flat, so he doesn't have he has the time to do that, doesn't he? You know, he can wind up on those shots. He doesn't have to go after it. Doesn't have to be aggressive. He doesn't have to be rushed into what he's doing, right? Because Shapo is Tsitsipas is not hitting the ball flat. First it said this match would start at 10:10, then 10:50, then 10:50, 11:50. Well, here we are. Tennis never starts on time. So that's, if you're new to tennis, welcome to the sport. Never starts on time. Unless you're playing first match of the day or some night session, then never starts on time. All right. Here we go. It's going to be Steph coming to the net with a volley, and then Shapo slices it in the net. And it's 15 love. All right. 30 love. Having a look here. As we're back in now from Chapo. That goes down the line to the back end of Steph. Chapo now with the forehand from Steph into the forehand of Chapo. He goes down the line. Steph with the slice. He gets it back. And then Chapo goes in the back end of Steph. Steph in the net. Oh, that was an opportunity for Steph to hit a backhand winner. But he missed. All right, 30-15. By the way, chat, some of you might be watching this and going, hey, what are all these numbers you're spitting out at me? You know, I'm saying like 7.85 and I'm saying a 6.91 and all these things. Are you guys familiar with the TDI system or the Tennis Insights? If you've been watching our previews with the men's matches, you'll probably know more about Tennis Insights and what it all means. But I'm a massive fan. I love it. I think it's such a great way to just like not so much simplify how tennis is like, you know, spoken about, right? Just being like, oh, he's got a 7.5 forehand. But like what goes into those things, it's not just a random number. Like there's so much that goes into that. So TDI is Tennis Data Innovations, and Tennis Insights are part of that, like, you know, a part of the shot quality and the performance ratings and all those things that you see online. It's a really good summary of how they're playing. Exactly, yeah. It's a great. It's using. So they use the Hawkeye system to track all the shots, and there's so much that goes into it. It's a very scientific and accurate way of just, you know, explaining what's going on. So like saying that Chapo had a 9.6 forehand, it was ridiculously good. You know, he was you know, his forehand in that first set was ridiculous. Chapo at 3-0 goes with a approach shot, and the passing shot goes wide by Steph. 15 love. Would have loved to seen it during the Big Three era. Oh yeah, it would have been great. I mean, it is really interesting. Like I've been mucking around with it a little bit this week, and like looking at some stuff here, like looking at Alcaraz's performance rating over like the ATP finals. He was not below a 9 for the entire ATP finals. Even when he played Sinner in that final, his performance rating, which is accumulation of all these different things that I was mentioning, he was still at a 9.06 performance rating. Sinner was better that day, but his rating didn't drop below a 9 for the entire tournament. Ridiculous. Like that is some ridiculous tennis. Like it just shows how good Alcaraz was at the ATP finals. Remember, the ATP finals is playing the other best players in the world too, right? It's not like, oh, I'm just going to play a bunch of randoms. No, you're playing the top 10. He was kicking all the top 10 ass. It was just that Sinner played better in that final. And if you look at the score, it was so close anyway. I think Sinner's performance rating was like sort of up near that like 9.4. But yeah, I mean, Alcaraz was ridiculously good in that ATP finals. It's crazy. And like looking through, he barely drops below an 8, Alcaraz. Like there are times that he's dropped to like a 7. Like his worst performance rating last year, as far as I can tell, was a 7.2 in Cincinnati in his second round match. And I can't remember who he played, but yeah, his performance rating didn't drop below a 7.2. The match he lost to against Norrie in Paris was 7.3. So again, on the lower, you know, one of the worst matches he's played, performance-wise. But yeah, I mean, it's just so much. I love just nerding out on this stuff. It's so much fun to just go, and it simplifies it too. Makes it so easy to just go, 7.5. Okay, out of 10. Okay, so that must be all right. Or, you know, or a 9.5. Like, that's amazing, right? Against Jumher, yeah, and he lost the second. It was against Jumher. I wasn't sure if it was against Jumher or if it was against somebody else, but yeah, that makes sense. It was he lost the second set too. Also, interestingly, to mention that match in particular, it was his first match on the hard courts since Miami because he didn't play Canada. So he went from Wimbledon, making the final of Wimbledon, and then in that first match back on the change of surface, he plays his worst match of the year. So I found that really interesting to see like how he went from He went from the grass courts for his first match on the hard court. He did win Cincinnati, but his first match back on hard courts after that Miami, where of course he lost Miami, that Goffin match he lost. He actually played okay. Goffin played better, but yeah, it's funny how like the first match back on the hard courts after playing on clay and grass, he has his worst match of the year by performance. Still wins it. It's just weird how that happens. It just shows how it kind of just shows how how changing surfaces does make a big difference too, right? And that it does affect players, even the best player. The grading system is only for guys on TV, not amateurs. Yeah, Tennis Insights and the TDI system is only for the professionals. It's not for the average guy because you're not on the you have to be playing on the ATP. It's an ATP thing. It's not the grading system's not for if you want a grading system, you got to use UTR, which is not as detailed. But yeah, you can use UTR ratings to figure out your own rating. All right, Love 15. Speaking of performance rating right now, Shapovalov is at a 7.97 and a 6.84 for Tsitsipas. Shapo leading, but it's on serve. As Steph, it's a forehand wide. It's 15-0. So Shapovalov playing better, is leading that. Steph played better in the second set. Only just. Shapo is back to the first set form, but Steph's hanging on at this stage. 15-0. Just whether or not Shapovalov can convert a break point like he couldn't do in the second set. He had so many in that second set. Return goes to the backhand of Steph. 4-0 from Shapo. As Steph with a backhand shanked off the line from Shapovalov. Tsitsipas shanked it, off the line from Shapo. 15-30, a little bit of luck, maybe. I mean, yeah, Steph, it bounced. It hit the line and almost hit Steph in the mouth. All right. 15-30. Steph just, not much Steph could do there. That was just unlucky. Just unlucky. All right, 15-30. Down. 15-30. As the return goes out from Shapo that time. 30-0. Steph needs a first serve here. It's going to be on Tennis TV, bro. It literally is on Tennis TV right now. If you scan the QR code, you can go watch it. You can get the app. All right, 30-0. There's a backhand return. Goes long by Shapo, and it's 40-30. That was the first serve. What did I say, chat? Needs a first serve, gets the first serve, gets the 40-30. Stays alive. You know the song. I'm not going to sing it. You know it. Serving to the forehand of Shapo. Return goes to the forehand of Tsitsipas. Shapovalov into the forehand of Tsitsipas. Shapovalov forehand again. He goes in the net. 4-4. I'll tell you, if Steph wins this match, it would be a steal. Because for the majority of this match, he has not been the better player. He has been outplayed, outclassed, outhit. But he is just hanging on. And Shapovalov, if he lets this slip, that'll be a hell of a loss. It would hurt a lot. Because he has been much, much better overall. Overall. He should not lose this match, Shapo. He has been the better player. But the momentum is slightly shifting in Tsitsipas' favor. All right. Big games coming up. Shapo needs to hold his nerve. Shapo serves a fault. Second serve. I tell you, if I'm Tsitsipas, I'm picking on the back end of Shapo here in this game. He's got to make some better returns, though. Tsitsipas. Oh, Shapo double faults. That helps. Love 15. Love 15. Freebie. Shapo serves again. He's going to go out wide. He does, but he hits it in the net. Second serve. He went for the out wide, Old Faithful, but he missed. Second serve. Is that a double foot? No, it's in. And then Shabo puts away the forehand. How did that go in? I think it was a grunt from Tsitsipas that made it sound like Hawkeye said fault, but it was in. And Shapo survives with a forehand winner, 15 all. There's another fault from Shapo. Man, where is his first serve gone? Second serve. Goes the back into Steph. And Steph in the net. Good second serve. 30-15. As the return from Steph goes out. There's that serve out wide again. 40-15. Let me have a look. How many times he's gone out wide, Shapo, in this match? That would be an interesting to see. How many times he's gone out wide on the first serve? 65% of the time he's gone out wide, which is above average. His average is 56 out wide. But against Tsitsipas, he serves a lot more out wide of that backhand because it works. As the return goes in the forehand, Shapo slides from Tsitsipas. Shapo forehand down the line goes in. It landed in. Shapo holds 5-4. Yeah, Shapo. By the way, Shapo's down the tee serve. He's producing all these aces are coming down the tee or one out wide on the forehand, like on the deuce side, which is unusual for him. But yeah, most of his serves. 65% of his serves are going to the backhand of Steph on the ad side, which is that classic lefty serve. Like, if you don't know what I'm saying, so what I'm saying when I'm talking about like the lefty serve, right? Just in case you don't understand what that means. So the lefty serve is so you're a right-hander, you're standing here, and you're a lefty, you're here, right? And that's when somebody will serve, because remember the lefties, they're serving from this side, right? The lefty serve is when it goes out this way, right? And you're going to have to hit a backhand as a right-hander. So that's when the lefty serve it swings out wide, right? Whereas if you're a right-hander, you have to hit a kick serve out wide to get it to do that. But with a lefty, it's just that natural arc of the serve. You know, you're just naturally throwing the ball that way. So that's what the lefty serve is. The classic lefty serve out to the backhand of the right-hander, pushing them outside, pushing them off the court. You know, Tsitsipas is hitting returns from here. And then all of a sudden you have the whole court to hit into. And Shapo with his forehand just like bang down straight down the, open the court up and he goes straight down the line. He goes, thank you very much. My forehand is on fire today. So that's the lefty serve, if you are wondering what I'm saying. And it's effective against Steph. It works against Tsitsipas. It's worked 4 times on hard courts already for Shapovalov. And it might be a 5th if he can win 4 points. All right. 5-4, Steph serving to stay in this match. He needs the first serves. And he gets one out wide. Chapo slices it back. And then Steph forehand goes long. Man, that wasn't a bad serve, but the return from Chapo, nice slice. Love 15. Love 15. Steph serves again. Down the tee, a let. All right, serve again from Tsitsipas. And the return goes into the forehand of Steph. Steph inside out forehand goes wide, love 30. All right, love 30. Man, he's got the first serve in, but the forehands failed him in this game. All right, Steph's dad's having a chat. I can't understand Greek, but I'm sure he's saying something important. Love 30. I'm sure it's a gem. Whatever he said, I'm sure he said something that's his son's going to try and implement. Serve out wide the back of Shapo. Return goes short. Forehand for Steph. That's a good shot. That's a good shot by Steph. Back behind Shapo, kind of. But he went out wide and then back out wide. Picking on that backhand. 15-30. As Steph serves a fault. Second serve. Serve goes in the forehand of Shapo. Return goes in the forehand of Tsitsipas. Shapo backhand. Into the forehand of Steph. Shapo backhand again. Tsitsipas in trouble. He hits a forehand short. In comes Shapo. Steph puts up a lob. Shapo smash. Oh, he missed it! What was the miss? Did he lose the ball in the darkness? That was shocking. He completely misjudged it. Did he lose the ball in the darkness of the night sky? Yeah, he tried to hit it like over here. All right. That might have been a gift for Steph. 30-all. Backhand slice Shapo. Into the forehand of Tsitsipas. Shapo backhand. Into the forehand of Steph. Shapo backhand down the line. Steph's got his backhand. Into the Shapovalov forehand. Into the backhand of Steph. Steph hits it long. Match point Shapovalov. 30-40. To get through it. And to make it 5 out of 5 against Tsitsipas on a hard court. Be a solid win for Shapo too. Probably one of the most highly anticipated first round matchups. Two former top 10 players. We get a serve down the tee. Into the backhand of Shapo. Forehand from Steph. Shapo. Backhand again to the forehand of Steph. Steph, just gets it. There's a backhand again from Shapo. Steph goes down the line. Shapo in trouble. Steph, forehand inside out. Shapo's got it. As Steph mucks it up with a slice. Shapo, forehand. He comes to the net. Now a slice from Tsitsipas. Shapo volleys. Steph with a forehand in the net. And Shapovalov points to his ear and just celebrates. There's a little more in that one. As Steph gives a very, very quick handshake. And Shapovalov's like, we got this. We got him. Shapovalov's super animated. And he takes out Steph. 5 out of 7 he's won. All hard court wins against Tsitsipas. And Tsitsipas is going to have to go to Miami and figure it out. That was a tough first round, though. Very tough first round for Steph. I mean, somebody that you've never beaten on a hard court, but also, Shapovalov is dangerous. We saw how good he was in that first set with the forehand. He was ridiculous. Very dangerous matchup for Steph and tough for both guys. But Shapo too good. Matchups matter, yeah. Also serving first in the third set matters. All right. Shapo gets the win. That was a snappy match too. I love a snappy match. Let me go through some stats before we get this thing wrapped up for day one, and we'll be back tomorrow for day two. So, statistically. Talking about performance rating, we've been talking about that. That's been the theme of the show. Tsitsipas was a 6.69 compared to a 7.97 for Shapo. So Shapo almost at the 8 level, which is sort of like maybe a B plus is an 8. If an A plus is a 9.5, then maybe it's a B minus. If we're going by mathematics, I don't know. I don't go to school. I did. I passed. But I don't go anymore. I don't know how they do math. At 8.9 on the forehand, that was the difference. Shapo's forehand, 8.9 shot quality for the match. Tsitsipas was, it was not bad. His return suffered 6.0, but that, of course, was because of that big serve out wide to the Tsitsipas backhand, which Shapovalov was just picking on Tsitsipas' backhand, which is why his returns quality was down. But yeah, an 8.9, forehand was on fire. His serve was pretty good. They both served at about a 7.5, which was not too bad from Steph, but he just didn't get enough first serves in Steph. 58% of first serves in for Steph, 67% of first serve points won. Needed to have more first serves in. Didn't serve any aces, Tsitsipas either, which is very strange. He does serve a lot of aces at times. He's good. He's got a good serve at times. Shapovalov, 24 winners, 24 errors. 12 of those forehand winners and 11 backhand errors. So the backhand was a little shaky for Shapo. Tsitsipas 15 winners and the 31 errors. 9 forehand winners, but also 15 forehand errors. Yeah. So yeah, that's where Shapo was great. I mean, that's how Shapo did it. He was the better player throughout the match. Even the second set, he did drop the forehand quality, but had he have taken his chances, he had 7 break points. He only took 1. Had he have taken his chances, he probably would have come back in the second and maybe taken it straight. So he was the better player throughout. But and also the confidence of the head-to-head, right? 4 out of 6 you've won, all of them hard-court victories. The man who statistically should have won. Tough draw for Steph, though. That was a tough draw. Currently 50 where's Steph? Is 50 in the world? Does Steph drop out? Tsitsipas is 50 in the world. He dropped 7 spots. Jeez. And Shapovalov's going the other way. He's going up. He's 38 in the world. And if he wins a couple more matches, he might be seeded at the next big tournament, a.k.a. Miami. So yeah, Steph down to 50. Ouch. What was the special announcement? If you scan the QR code or look, go down the link below, click the link below down the description, that will help a lot. I'll announce. There's more to announce next week, but the announcement is, we've teamed up with the tennis TV, tennis TV app, and hopefully I can talk more about it next week. But yeah, that's the small announcement. More to come. More to come. Borges beats Nava. I think he's out of the top 50. Really? Okay. We are at Indian Wells, yes. But Tsitsipas going to Miami. He's going to have to go to Miami now and figure it out. Tough draw. I mean, very tough draw for Tsitsipas. Out of all the players he could have played, this one might have been one of the worst. Especially head-to-head wise. Steph's had good moments this year. He hasn't had a bad year. He's just losing points where he had to hold, right? Dubai, this tournament, but he's had some good wins. He's just getting some really tough draws. I mean, he had a great win against Medvedev a couple of weeks ago, right? That was a great win. Probably one of his best wins against Medvedev ever. And then Medvedev went on to win Dubai. So it was like, well, shit. You beat a guy who's playing well. He ended up losing to Rublev in Doha. He lost to Humbert in Dubai. That's tough. Van der Zandt in Rotterdam. Van der Zandt at home is tough. Mahatch at the Australian Open, he lost, which was Mahatch didn't do too badly in Australia. He won the United Cup. He beat Fritz there. So he's had a couple of good wins. But, yeah, he's just been, when you're unseeded, you're going to run into killers, right? And he's been running, his last 3 losses, Rublev, Humbert, Shapovalov, right? 3 very, very awkward players. His record against Humbert, by the way, is 1 win, 4 losses. So, nightmare matchup against Humbert. 2 wins, 4 losses before today against Shapo, right? And against Rublev, I think he's got is it a 50-50? Him and Rublev have got a close head-to-head. 6-7 in... It was 6-all before Rublev won that match in Doha. So... yeah, 3 very tricky matchups, I should say. So just unlucky, I think for Steph. And yeah, his ranking's suffering, but I don't think we can look at his ranking and go, oh man, he's dropped out of the 50. Yeah, but also look at who he's played. He's been getting some terrible draws. You got to give him a little bit of slack for that. He hasn't been, it's not like he's losing to qualifiers outside the top 100. He's losing to players that he struggles against or that he has lost to in the past or hasn't got a good record against. I saw Berrettini fought back against Manarino. Yeah, he did. Hey, Linear, thank you for the 1 gifted. Appreciate it. All right. Yeah, well, that's it. If you drop down the rankings, it's going to be really... it is going to be really tough for... you're going to get these terrible matchups, yeah. Yeah, it's very Berrettini's a banger. I can't wait for that one in a couple of days. Anyways, that's it and that's that. I'll see you guys tomorrow for a slightly less intense day, even though today wasn't very intense either. Tomorrow's going to be pretty chill. I don't know what we're going to start with tomorrow, but just stay tuned and we'll be around. And then we've got Friday, which is going to be crazy. Friday is going to be insane. So get ready. Get ready, because it's going to get crazy. There's going to be some crazy matches coming up. But Shapovalov does it. 6-2, 3-6, 6-4. He takes out Steph again for the fifth time in 7 meetings. And he's into the second round. He's going to take on now the seeded player by the name of... Wait for it. Echeverry, who's actually been playing really, really well on clay. Also, Shapovalov Sinner, third round potentially. That could be a third round. And we know that Shapo has got some... he's not easy. That's not an easy match for Sinner. If Sinner's, not... If Shapo plays the way he did at that US Open, it could get real dangerous. So, Shapovalov, he's got to get through the clay court inform on clay, Echeverry. But, that should be really interesting. Anyways, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out. Scan the QR code, download the app. Thanks.